For this question, we want to plot the following points in R3, specifically 4, 2, 7 and negative 3, 4, negative 2. Well, first we'll plot the point 4, 2, 7 using a rectangular prism. First thing we do is we draw our X, Y, and Z axes the way we've done it here. And now we're going to try and make rectangles on each of the XZ, XY, and YZ planes corresponding to the points. So when we come 4 units out on the x-axis, we end up here, and when we come 2 units out on the y-axis, we end up here. So what we're going to do is connect these 2 points with a rectangle on the XY plane, making sure that both lines that we draw are parallel to the opposite axis. So this line is parallel to that line, and this line is parallel to this line. Next, we're going to do the same thing on the XZ axis. So we draw a line parallel to the Z axis going up, and then we need to make this rectangle so that this axis is parallel to this far side as well. Mine leaves a little bit to be desired. Now finally, on the YZ plane, we do the same thing. And now we've drawn our rectangles on the appropriate axes. Now what we're going to do is I'll draw a line this long right here, coming out from this point, and then I'll connect it. And basically, hopefully it looks to you like this is a rectangular prism. Now the point in question that we were asked to graph was 4, 2, 7, and so we can draw a vector if we want from 0, 0, 0 out to 4, 2, 7 to really exemplify that that's the point that we were going towards. Next, we want to do the same thing, but we want to use the draw out to the point negative 3, 4, negative 2. Now when the one or more coordinates are negative, the way we deal with that is to extend our axis out in the opposite direction. I sometimes make it a dotted line like I have here. So negative 3 on the x-axis is going to go backwards 3 units. 4 on the y-axis is going to go in the positive y-axis 4 units. And what we're going to be able to do now is draw the appropriate rectangle on the XY plane. Now it's in the negative region though. Now we also have a negative Z value point of negative 2. Our coordinate on our Z axis is negative 2. So that's down here, 2 units down the Z axis. Whoops, didn't do that too well, but we're going to make this one look like that. So what we've done is drawn a rectangle on the surface of this plane, and all of the sides are parallel to the opposite side. Now finally, what we want to do is make a rectangle corresponding to these 2 points, like so. Okay. And if we draw this out to here and connect it up, we've drawn ourselves a rectangular prism. It definitely takes some practice. Now as a final note, we want to, if we really want to exemplify what the point is that we were going for, or if they ask us to draw a vector, we can draw a different color that didn't show up too well because we're kind of overlapping the lines a little bit. That's going to happen when you try to represent a 3-dimensional situation on a 2-dimensional surface. But hopefully you can see the vector drawn from the origin out to the point negative 3, 4, negative 2.